In the realm of horology, where innovation quite often meets tradition, the emergence of wooden dials on watches always sparks fascination among watch enthusiasts. Unlike conventional dials, wood offers a warm, organic aesthetic that evokes a sense of connection to the earth. The allure of wooden dials extends beyond mere aesthetics. It encapsulates a harmonious blend of organic warmth and modern sophistication. Today, we're taking the macro lens to the A04 by Danish microbrand VEJRHØJ as we take a very close look at its natural walnut dial, as well as every single aspect of this watch, as I always try to do for you, my lovely viewers, all 5 of you. And just a quick note, to those of you who don't already know, I appreciate my vids can be quite long, so I do leave chapters in all my reviews. So if you want to watch certain segments, then you can use those chapters to hop around. Oh, and please don't forget to subscribe and or leave a comment. I'd absolutely love to hear what you think about this watch. And stick around to the end of my in-depth analysis of the VEJRHØJ A04 as I take it around the beautiful Ingleton Waterfall Trail here in Ingleton in North Yorkshire, including the fantastic Pecker Falls, as well as a wander up to the brilliant Thornton Falls, all while suffering with the flu, so please do excuse my croaky voice in this review. As ever, it's great to have you here. Now let's take a quick look at the specification of this watch, all in the next 90 seconds. VEJRHØJ is a Danish watch brand renowned for its minimalist designs and commitment to sustainability. Founded in 2014 by Janus Arup, VEJRHØJ draws inspiration from the serene coastal landscapes of Denmark, infusing its timepieces with a harmonious blend of Scandinavian aesthetics and traditional craftsmanship. At the heart of VEJRHØJ's philosophy lies a deep respect for nature and a dedication to using sustainable materials. Now, the brand's watches feature meticulously crafted wooden dials sourced from responsibly managed forests, offering wearers a tangible connection to the natural world. And additionally, VEJRHØJ prioritizes eco-friendly practices throughout its production process, ensuring minimal environmental impact. And in my hand today is the VEJRHØJ A04, which is part of their automatic range, which started with the A01, which I actually reviewed last year, the A02, A03, and released at the same time as the A04 is the A05 Dark Walnut. And this range complements a quartz range too, which includes the Sakura, the Maple, the Black and Gold, and the Night. And VEJRHØJ also have a ladies range or petite range, which includes the Sakura, the Maple, the Black and Gold, but also the emerald, black, the rose, and the gold. So just to reiterate what was said in a very peaceful and thoughtful 90-second spec, the A04 comes in at 11mm thick, 40mm in diameter, 45mm lug to lug, 20mm width at the lug, with this dark brown Italian leather strap tapering down to around about 17mm by the time it reaches the side buckle. Okay, so starting with this fantastic dial. Now the natural walnut wood is the star of the show. The natural walnut dial on the VEJRHØJ A04 automatic is the most captivating focal point on this watch that really elevates this timepiece to a realm of unparalleled sophistication and natural beauty. The wooden grains on this dial run vertically, with those grains quite profound in colour, but also exuding a really lovely warmth and character. Now this entire dial really showcases the unique grain patterns and textures inherent to what is, by the way, sustainably sourced walnut wood. The walnut wood is carefully selected and treated to ensure durability and longevity, but also those beautiful grains making each watch unique, and I really mean unique, due to the natural variation in its patterns. I mean, that wood is simply stunning in my opinion. So I'm just going to be quiet for a moment and let you enjoy it close up. What I feel is a brilliant move by VEJRHØJ is also that fantastic silver reort, which actually feels like it elevates the dial because you have additional walnut here around it that surrounds the reort. So at a glance, it looks like the walnut that spans this entire dial is the same piece, but it's not. The separate piece of walnut wood that surrounds the reort is a completely different piece. Now I do think that reort perfectly balances the dial, and note that whilst there is a nice amount of light that reflects from it, it absorbs most of the light as it's not high shine and takes on a bit of a brushed finish. You've got numeric minute markers representing every 5 minutes with the 00 at the 12th position. Now back on the dial you have hour markers that are silver applied patterns. They are very high polished, which I think contrasts really nicely, whilst also complementing that walnut wooden dial that creates a harmonious blend of organic warmth from the wood with modern sophistication from the indices, the reort and the handset. Now the indices are also faceted, so catch the light absolutely beautifully when against different angles of light. And note the half pattern here at the 3, which is set against the date complication. Now I'm a bit on the fence personally with this date window. I mean, its inclusion there is probably by default, with this fitting into the dress watch category, and I generally feel that as a practical complication to fulfill that dress watch genre, I'd probably say in that case its inclusion is acceptable. I mean, it doesn't necessarily overpower this watch, and the fact that the date is set against a white background probably gives this watch a very dressy feel to it in comparison to, say, a date set against a wooden or dark background. But I don't know, the other option would have been to have a dateless dial to really showcase that walnut wood a little more, or to have it at the 6. But I don't think actually VEJRHØJ are trying to push the boundaries here, and are probably trying to stay on track with both simplistic design and meeting minimum criteria to create a dress watch. In this case, a pretty standard date complication at the 3 o'clock. So with that said, I can accept and almost be happy that the date complication is there and in this format. Note the logo in silver too, applied to that walnut wood, and I just want to focus on that especially because each letter is crafted from steel and very delicately applied to the wood. Now the temptation may have been to perhaps gone down a little bit of a cheaper route and engrave the logo into the wood, or even a pyrography technique whereby you essentially burn your logo into that wood. But I like that they've gone down the route of the application of steel, and it really is a testament to VEJRHØJ's dedication to craftsmanship, quality and design excellence. Now the hour and minute hands, I'd say, is where they have perhaps tried to push that design away from the norm ever so slightly. All 3 have skeletonized elements. The hour and minute hands are skeletonized baton hands in silver, with the hour hand landing exactly 1mm from those hour markers, and the minutes hand tip perfectly extending out to the edge of the hour markers closest to the riort. Now the seconds hand is lollipopped, and the lollipop skeletonized, and the inclusion of skeletonized hands is a great move by VEJRHØJ in my opinion. Now the star of the show is by far the walnut wood, so it's almost as a testament to that the hands are skeletonized to ensure that the wood is showcased through them. Protecting the dial of the VEJRHØJ A04 is a scratch resistant sapphire crystal. It's flat and provides a distortion-free view of the dial from every angle that you'll read the time. And its anti-reflective coating ensures that it minimizes glare, giving you optimal legibility in different lighting conditions. The case is 316L stainless steel, high polish. It's a fairly standard design and shape that you'd find in most dress watches. The lugs extend out 3 or 4 millimeters from the case, 45 millimeters lug to lug, and they curve down to the level of the caseback. Like I say, high polish, so reflecting a lot of light and really complementing the handset, indices and the logo. It's 40 millimeters in diameter, and it does slope nicely here at the top part towards the crystal and dial, but from the face of this watch, the bezel isn't hugely impeding, which is a good thing for me, as the focus of this watch at face value draws you nicely into that circular wood and into that riort and into the dial. You have a dainty push-pull crown here at the 3, which is 4.5 millimeters or so in diameter. Now it's not signed, and actually probably doesn't need to be, which is a tick in the box for Scandinavian minimalism, I guess. And just to note that this watch is water resistant to 3 ATM, so the watch is protected from splashes such as rain, or if someone spills their lemonade all over you, but must not be immersed in water, and I certainly wouldn't use this in the swimming pool or at the sauna. The strap is a dark brown leather Italian strap with quick release function. It's okay, it's soft, supple and comfortable to wear, and will mold to the shape of your wrist over time for a more custom fit. I mean, this is pretty much standard and will not pose you any problems, and with proper care, an Italian leather watch strap like this can last for years without losing its durability. But there is a very, very, very teensy tiny small part of me that wishes this strap was higher end. I don't know, perhaps something like a bovine grain leather handmade Baladas Carlo Pueblo leather. Quite specific indeed, but I think you get what I mean. But at the same time, I guess, I understand that VEJRHØJ keep to their minimalistic ethos, plus the fact that VEJRHØJ probably want to market this as a dress watch, so well, yeah, the strap will do just fine. Don't get me wrong, it's rather nice. There's just a very small part of me that wishes for a higher end strap, but that's actually quite easily remedied, and I'll probably go out anyway and buy one. The movement is an NH35A movement, 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hours power reserve, hand windable, hacking seconds, and equipped with Seiko's DeaShock system to ensure durability and reliability, particularly against those everyday impacts and shocks. And actually the utilization of the NH35A rubber stamps VEJRHØJ's intention to employ the Seiko caliber in their watches long term, having previously utilized the Miyota 8215 in the A01 and A02 product variants, but turning to the NH35A in the A03, this the A04 and the A05. And that movement is contained behind this exhibition caseback, which as you can see looks very, very lovely indeed. Now the rotor sports a Côte de Genève finish. For me, this decorative pattern adds a touch of elegance and sophistication to the movement, enhancing its overall visual appeal. The alternating light and shadow created by these stripes create a captivating visual effect, especially when the rotor is in motion through that caseback. On my 7.5-inch wrist, it wears, well, what can I say? I've been wearing this for a few weeks now, and it wears absolutely brilliantly. 40mm in diameter and 45mm lug to lug means that it's not overstated on my wrist, in my opinion, in terms of size, and just about the right size to wear as a dress watch, but also as a casual wear too. It's very light at a mere 66 grams with this leather strap. Now the darkness of that walnut wood contrasts really nicely against my skin tone too, and whilst there is an air of sophistication to this watch, what with the Scandinavian minimalism, the high shine silver and the elegant shape of the case, the beautiful handset and indices, there is also no doubt a very rugged feel to this watch too, with this walnut wood that evokes a sense of natural authenticity with its textured surface showcasing unique grain patterns, which for me really adds character and a touch of resilience to this watch. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning of this really long review that this watch encapsulates a harmonious blend of organic warmth and modern sophistication, and it really does just that. It feels, well, like it blends organic warmth with modern sophistication on my wrist. Now, I wore it around the lovely Yorkshire Dales in a rainproof jacket, jeans and trainers that were totally unacceptable for wearing when on a hike in the countryside in the rain. But hey ho, I'll hopefully prove to you in my walk round at the end of my vid that the watch can be used when on a little hike around the countryside, as well as at a dinner with your missus or at a corporate event. In terms of price, the A04 is priced at 445 USD, that's around about 350 UK pounds sterling, or 405-ish euros in today's market. If you look at the spec less the dial on its own, you may think that is on rather the steep side, but don't forget the main feature of this watch. The walnut wood and its respective natural grain patterns and warm earthy tones provide a unique and visually appealing aesthetic to this watch that is very unique indeed. Now, each piece of walnut wood has its own distinctive characteristics, making every watch dial truly one of a kind. And also don't forget that the walnut wood is sustainable material too, and your walnut wood is sourced from responsibly managed forests, and indeed VEJRHØJ plant a tree with every single sale, which further demonstrates their commitment to environmental consciousness and eco-friendly practices. Overall, well look, it's really hard not to like this watch. It's obvious that the walnut wood is the star of the show, and this watch definitely offers a combination of aesthetic appeal, comfort, sustainability, durability, and also actually versatility, making it an excellent choice for those seeking a distinctive timepiece, but something that is completely different in its design, and at the same time in keeping with an air of class and sophistication. Now, for me, the VEJRHØJ A04 watch is actually a masterpiece that seamlessly blends Scandinavian minimalism with impeccable craftsmanship. Now, the choice of the handset, indices and silver reord blends absolutely perfectly into that stunning walnut dial, and VEJRHØJ have done a quite brilliant job in maintaining that perfect Scandinavian minimalism in absence of excessive embellishments, which for me allows the beauty of the natural wood to shine through.